We are going to discuss about Golda Meir. Golda Meir. If you ask a lot of people who the Iron Lady is, a lot of people will say the Iron Lady is. A lot of people will say Iron Lady is Mrs. Margaret Thatcher. But the initial Iron Lady was Golda Meir. Actually, it is like somebody coming up and taking over your nickname or your role, and he or she becomes more known than you. But the original lady to be called Iron Lady was Golda Meir. She was born on 3rd May 1889. 1889. She died in on 8th December 1978, having acquired around 80 years. Over 80 years. She was born in Kiev, Ukraine. She was born in Kiev, Ukraine, and she was born as Golda Mabovich. Her initial name was Golda Mabovich. You know, women, they use their father's name and then later they use their husband's name, isn't it? So she was born as Golda Mabovich. But she later got married. She later got married in 1917 to a man called Morris Meyerson. So she got married to a man called Morris Meyerson, a fellow Jew. And that is when she changed for the second time from Golda Mabovich to Golda Meyerson. When she was getting married to Morris Meyerson in the US, Milwaukee, she insisted that she can only be married to him if in future they will relocate to Palestine. You know, that country used to be called Palestine. So she said, she gave the only condition that when he proposed, she said she'll only accept if they will later migrate to Palestine. She was educated up to college level in Milwaukee in the USA. As I said, she was born in Kiev, Ukraine. I think Kiev is the capital of Ukraine. And she was born in Kiev, Ukraine, and her parents plus her migrated to Milwaukee in 1906. 1906. She was, I think, a teenager from 1889. You go to 1900. I think that is 11 years plus 6. She was 17 when her parents migrated to Milwaukee in the USA. So in 1921, with her spouse, her husband, who was called Morris Meyerson, in 1921 they migrated to Palestine. In 1946, that is shortly before the Israel independence, her husband led a Jewish political party. So it is a couple that were both in politics. On 14th May 1948, there was a signing. She was one of the signatories. She was one of the signatories of Israel's independence. That was in 1948. And in 1949, she joined the Israel parliament, which is called Knesset. Knesset is the Israel parliament. So she joined that. 6 years later, 1956 to 1966, she was the Minister for Foreign Affairs. it means that her husband, she married her husband up to 1951. Sorry, I've got a sore throat. 1951, he died. So when he died, she continued, and she was a member of parliament, because she was a member of the Knesset, 1949, and 2 years after she joined parliament, her husband died, and in 1956 she was the minister for foreign affairs for Israel, 1956 to 1966. In 1966, she left the Ministry of Foreign Affairs uh, to become is it Cleophas Malala? She became the Secretary General of the then ruling party. Then that was 1967, and then 68, and then in 1969, the then Prime Minister, who was called Levy, I think Simon Levy, yeah, but I remember the name was Levy, suddenly died, and the party was the party was, had various strong people who wanted to take over, but she became the compromise candidate. That was in 1969. In 1973, she was the prime minister during the Yom Kippur War. And if you want to know about Yom Kippur War, I have recorded that. She stayed and died in 1978 with over 80 years. And unless I'm wrong, but I think she's the only female prime minister Israel has ever had, but she was the fourth prime minister. Thank you.